Hey guys, Haxer Tech here for another video, and today we're going to be talking about the best apps that you can use for trading cryptocurrency for beginners. So this is something that I wanted to share because I saw that online there's a lot of different apps that are mentioned. I see a lot of specific ones that are promoted pretty frequently. Now I've seen some like things like Kraken. I've seen several different kinds of apps out there that when I went back and I looked through the interface, I looked through just how you use the app and different kind of factors. There are some out there that a lot of people are using that are either kind of complicated or have too many fees and things of that nature. So what I was kind of trying to focus on is finding what I felt like were the best apps for number one, preferably low fees. There's one particular one that I found to be the best there, but also finding apps that are really easy to use and not really complicated. Like Binance, for example, is another really good one. I feel like it's a little bit better for professionals or for people that have a little bit of experience with cryptocurrency, just because it was a little bit more difficult to kind of get used to. But I'm going to be talking about some specific ones here. So the first one, the most obvious one, probably the easiest one, is definitely Coinbase. Coinbase is probably one that if you've never heard of any other one, you've probably heard of Coinbase. It's a really easy app to use to trade cryptocurrency, to purchase and to sell it. So let's take a look here. So Coinbase is really very simple to use. On the homepage here, you have the ability to see all of your cryptocurrencies. So I've got a watch list, and the nice thing here is you can create a custom watch list, and so you can actually choose which cryptocurrencies that you want to actually monitor and look at. So this is really nice because it makes it really easy to see which cryptocurrencies are up and down, you know, kind of how the market is doing that particular day. It's got a really good visual interface here, plus you get notifications based off important information that you might want for your cryptocurrency. You can see your portfolio here. You can see the dips and the, you know, number one, your balance here. So I've got my up and down of my particular portfolio, but you can also see the same thing for any individual currency that you have here. And so I can see the amount, the dollar value worth of each currency that I have in here. I can have or see how much I have of each of those currencies, so how much I have of like my Link and my XRP and everything. So it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. If I go into a particular one here and I want to see more about that particular currency, again, I can see my breakdown here of how that currency is doing, and I can filter that here, or I can click in here and I can see more information related to each of these. So for example, if I went to one of these down here, my Orchid. So what I can do here is I can click on trade and I can click on the buy or the sell option here. But if I click on buy, it's going to allow me to preview my sell before I actually make it, which is really nice because I can preview what the fee is going to be. I can preview all of those different characteristics there. I can also convert my existing cryptocurrency into another cryptocurrency, which is really nice as well. If I want to convert Bitcoin into Ethereum or something of that nature, it's super easy to do that in the app. Now, I'm going to say that my biggest complaint about Coinbase, I do know that there's Coinbase Pro and there's Coinbase, you know, Basic here, but on the Coinbase version that I'm using here, just regular Coinbase, the biggest con is definitely the fees. So here, there's pretty significant fees. It usually starts at $1 for a smaller transaction, and then if you're doing something that's like $1,000, it's going to be about 30 bucks. Maybe upwards from there, depending on what currency you're trading and different factors. Super easy to see useful characteristics about currencies and different data in here, which is really nice. I also kind of like that you can go in here, you can see the top gainers and losers really easily, so you can see what's doing really well, what's doing not so well. So different things like that are really cool. But again, biggest issue is just the fees in here, so that's why I don't use this one as my main you know, trading platform, but it's certainly a good one to have. Plus, if you check the links in the description, you can go in and you can watch Coinbase videos, and you can get free cryptocurrency just for watching those videos. So all you have to do is just watch like a 3-minute video, and you get some different coins in here. So like one of them you can get is EOS. Orchid I got just from doing that, and there's some other ones in there too that you can do. They do go out pretty quickly, so people have that kind of high demand. So once a lot of people go in and join the wait list, it may go away. But I know that there's still definitely several in there. So I'll have links in the description to all the ones that you can go in and get free cryptocurrency from. The next app that I'm going to talk about here for trading cryptocurrency is eToro. eToro is got another kind of pretty good interface here. I definitely like a few of the features specific to eToro, which would be number one, the social aspect of it, I think is probably the biggest strong suit. And so for here, for example, what I can do is I can go into a particular cryptocurrency that I'm interested in investing in, and immediately when I go in here, I've got this forum here that allows me to see like what people are talking about. I can see all of these different individuals that are kind of commenting and discussing this currency to see whether or not it's a good deal. So really, it's a great way to, before you actually make your trade, see useful information. It's also got some pretty cool charts in here that you can use. You can even go in here and see the candle chart here to see exactly where things are at, and you can really fine-tune that, zoom in on it to see where things are. Technical analysis of buy, hold, sell patterns, which is pretty useful. So all kinds of different things in here that'll be useful tools for traders. So then there's also looking at the kind of range for that day, what the high and lows are, all that kind of good stuff. So lots of useful tools in here. The cons that I had with this particular one, so there's no fees, quote unquote, but you can see here when I go on, I want to buy a particular amount here. I would click on deposit now, and I'd be able to go in here and see what the actual price is to purchase the currency. So obviously right now it's $29.12, but it looks like here $29.85 is what I would actually pay to purchase XRP. So they're going to obviously upcharge you a little bit for it, and that would be the I think they actually show it on some of these here. I believe it's the bid price. Can't remember if it was the bid price or the asking price, but maybe it was the asking price. But yeah, so that's the price that you're going to pay for the actual cryptocurrency. And again, guys, I'm not really terribly experienced with cryptocurrency. I'm just kind of getting into it. So I'm still learning the hoops here, but this is coming from someone that's mostly a beginner in cryptocurrency, what I've found to be true so far. So it's a good app. Definitely like the interface. I like the social aspect to it. I think compared to some of the other ones I'm going to talk about, what they upcharge you on buying the currency is a little bit more. The only other con that I would say with this particular one is I noticed that the rates they give you is a little bit weird. It may be using like a different exchange or something, differing from maybe crypto.com and Voyager and Coinbase, the other ones I'm going to talk about, because like when I look at the price here for XRP or any of these coins, it does seem to vary a lot from other ones. So this says 29.41, and then if I go to one of my other apps, we'll look at the next one here, which is going to be crypto.com. We'll see if it's close or not, but usually it ends up being a little bit different. So let's look up XRP. 29.61, so it's close, but I have seen sometimes where I look literally side by side and I see like a significant difference in the pricing, and it could be that just the chart was off that particular time, but it did make me question, how they're tracking it, and specifically it's usually lower. So if I saw one particular coin that at the time was something like 191, and then it was like 195 or 6 or something on another exchange at the exact same time, so I didn't understand why it was like different there. But anyway, so those were my cons with eToro, which leads us to the next one here, which is crypto.com. Now, crypto.com, I have a few pros and cons here. So I think the biggest pro, I would say, is that you can pay with your credit and debit cards, which I was not able to do with the other exchanges and the other apps. So if I want to go in here and buy Bitcoin, I can go in here and I can click on the buy option, buy cryptocurrency. Okay, and so you can see for the screen here, just when I want to go ahead and make my purchase here, I'm just covering out my debit card here, but in this screen, you can see that I can pay with a credit card, and the actual credit card number will be listed here. Granted, it only shows you some of the digits here, but it'll show your card. So I can just click on add a credit or debit card, and you can pay with a credit or a debit card right now for free. But just keep in mind that once this promotion ends in September, it's going to go back to a 3.5% fee. So they do charge you generally a fee for that. I took advantage briefly of this feature, being able to use a debit card while that fee is being waived. But in the future, I probably won't use this, especially after September, because there's no reason to pay that kind of a fee when you can just link a bank account. And even if you don't want to use your main bank account, you can always create a separate bank account for free, and then you can use that to pop your cryptocurrency in, and obviously that's going to be a way to easily fund your account. So if you don't want to use your main one, just grab a free bank account. But anyway, so I do like that feature, especially if for whatever reason you don't want to use a bank account. It's nice that you have that option, but I do have some cons. So the cons that I had specifically for Crypto.com is, number one, with their referral bonus. Now this might be a little bit nitpicky, but with the referral bonus, it's $50, but it goes into the form of their own cryptocurrency, which previously was MCO, now it's CRO. And you can see here that it's telling me I have to actually do a conversion here because they've changed from MCO, which is now worth 27 CRO, Crypto.com currency. And so this is fine and everything, but what I found is that it would not let me utilize that currency. Like, I couldn't use my $50 referral for anything in the platform. Like, I couldn't purchase Bitcoin or anything like that with that currency, which makes me think you're going to have to get one of their cards. Now, what I did is I went ahead and signed up for one of their cards. So they have multiple different options. The very first option is this Midnight Blue card, which is a free, like, there's no requirement here other than just applying for it. And this gives you like 1% back on all of your purchases. It allows you to use your balance of, I think right now it's going to use that CRO balance. Previously it was going to be using that MCO balance. And so whatever you have in there, like this card, you could just make a purchase at a gas station or something, for example, and it'll deduct from that currency, was what I kind of understood here. But then they have more expensive cards, or not really more expensive, but higher tier cards. At the highest tier, it's like 4 or 5% back on everything, but then you also get like free Netflix or free Spotify and things like that. But you have to invest a certain amount into their currency, their cryptocurrency, the CRO, and you have to do it for a certain amount of time to get that feature. So this is kind of a pro and a con. It's nice that they have debit cards that you can get. They're kind of cool looking cards in different colors and what have you. I did find out that the color is specific to that kind of card, so you can't just choose whatever color you want. It's based off the tier that you get. So you'll most likely get this one unless you're investing in some of their currency. But so kind of cool that you can get it, but on the con side, if you're doing a referral bonus, that currency seems to be locked down. Other negatives with this particular app is it's a little bit glitchy. They also do maintenance more than other apps I've found. So I noticed that they did maintenance at like 4 a.m. At one point, which was kind of frustrating because I wanted to purchase some cryptocurrency that was moving at that point, and I couldn't because it was completely locked down. But anyways, so this particular one, it's okay. It's a little bit glitchy sometimes. Their support is not the best. I will say that when I reached out to Crypto.com through this messaging platform here, I can just put in a message here, start a new conversation. I didn't get a response back, but when I emailed them through their email, it did I did get a response fairly quickly, so it wasn't terribly bad, but their support I would say is like okay. Not the best and not the quickest, and it does say it can take up to, I think it's like 5 or 7 business days or something to get a response. So overall, it's decent. The interface also, I would say, is like moderately confusing sometimes. It's not as straightforward as some of the other ones. I had some people that I was working with that was kind of confused by the concept of the fiat wallet, which I think probably most people that are familiar with cryptocurrency will understand this. But like in other crypto apps that I use, it doesn't use that term. I mean, it's just kind of your USD, so it's a little bit more straightforward, so someone that's a beginner is not going to be necessarily confused. But yeah, it's kind of cluttered. It's kind of hard to find certain things, like if I want to see my allocations and things like that. Sometimes there's a lot of different navigational things I have to do to get to the location I want to look at certain information, which is what leads me to the final app, which is my current preferred app that I use for trading crypto. It's the one I found to be the easiest to use, it's the most straightforward, it's the most kind of like easy to use interface, I would say, between all the ones that I've used so far, which is Voyager. Now Voyager, super simple. There's going to be obviously some coins in here that you will probably have to use another platform to purchase if you're interested, if it's not in here. All the ones I was interested in were in this platform, so I haven't found any coins that interested me specifically that weren't here. But you can't really search for them. I just usually alphabetize them. So if I wanted to do, for example, XRP, I just scroll to the very bottom here, and here I've got my XRP, and so you can just tap on that. And you're going to be able to see, specifically that cryptocurrency. You're going to be able to see exactly all the stats here, how much you own. You can see what your return is. Don't make fun of me. Like a lot of my investments right now are down a little bit because I sold and I'm investing in some of these, which I invest a little bit high on some of them, but I'm storing those for the long run. But I invested, all right, I took some out, dipped out some profits and then reinvested. So waiting for a few of these to come back up. But anyway, you can see how much you own. You can see what the current price is, the average cost. I really like the long-term charts here. You can see like over the course of an hour here, you can see like all the dips and all the different peaks here of that particular hour, day, week, month, or year. So you can really go out there and it's kind of a nice little view, really easy to access. You can see your history of all your transactions that you've done in here, which is kind of cool, and all your transfers that you've either done into the app or from the app. You can really easily purchase your XRP and Bitcoin and all of your different cryptocurrencies that you want to do. You can easily purchase them in here. The only thing I would say is that when you're selling them, you might have to do a little bit of math because it makes you do it in the currency itself. So instead of saying I want to sell like $100 worth of XRP, I would put in that I wanted to sell, let's say, like 1,000 XRP. So you might have to do a little bit of math. If you're selling everything all at once, obviously it's pretty straightforward, but or you can just play around with the number, which to me, that's not really a factor that matters to me or anything, but just something that I noticed for comparison, whereas other ones I can put in specifically like I want to sell $10 worth or whatever. I don't have to do the math or anything, so not really a con, but just a difference in how this one works. So you can set up a recurring buy, which is kind of cool, unique to some of the other ones, or you can just do an immediate buy. And it's also live, which is kind of cool. So when I'm in the screen, I can say I want to get maybe, $11 worth. And I can put in the dollar amount for what I'm purchasing. So if I want to do $11 worth, for example, I can look and see. And in like real time here, it's going to show you what the XRP is going for. And so for comparison, it's 29.45 cents. 0.2947, and then I go here 0.2979. So just for comparison to the increase that I'm paying, comparable to eToro, most of the time I felt like this was cheaper in Voyager. I think in general it seems to be cheaper in terms of the price than eToro is for whatever currency I'm looking at. But again, definitely the numbers were just a little bit more off on eToro more often than not. So I prefer to use this one generally, and then plus the interface just seems to be a little bit easier for me. So I just go in here and then I slide to buy. It's very quick when you're buying or selling in here. It just immediately reacts. And if I was selling, for example, then if I just went back here and then I went back to another currency and I wanted to buy it, then my available balance is generally immediately reflecting. Like there's no delay or anything like that in the balance updating. The only thing I would say for cons or negatives with this particular app is I would say that transferring in from your bank account, for example, here, so that's going to require a pending wait time. So it's going to immediately make the balance available. So let's say you transferred $1,000 into your Voyager account. The $1,000 is going to be immediately available to spend. You can immediately put that into Bitcoin or whatever currency you want. However, it does take some time to clear. And so if I go back in here to my history, all I would do is just go into a random one here. I can go to my history, look at my transfers. And so there's a deposit I made for like $1,000 here, for example, right? This particular deposit was made a few days ago. So it's still pending. It usually takes about 5 days to clear, up to 10 days. And once it clears, then you can transfer your balance out. But the only thing that I would caution is that if you were expecting to sell a particular currency very quickly and then you wanted to transfer, let's say like $100 that you have just earned from that sell of a currency. Let's say you sold, let's say some Bitcoin, and you have $100 now in your balance and you want to transfer that over to your bank account. If those transactions, those deposits that you did, if they have not already cleared, you will not be able to withdraw that money until they clear. So you could have to wait 5 to 10 days for you to be able to transfer that money out of your account here. But once they're clear, then there's no limit or anything. There's no fees for transferring money to your bank account. Now there are fees if you're transferring out of here to another crypto wallet. So for example, if I wanted to do transfer and withdraw from here to another Ethereum wallet, let's do Ethereum here, and then you can see, let's say I wanted to do one Ethereum, then it's going to show you I'm only be left with this amount of Ethereum after the fees. And so so it's pretty significant, to be honest. Like some of the fees are very significant when you're trying to transfer out of here, which this really is just more of something that you should be aware of, because I would imagine if you're investing in here, you shouldn't need to transfer this out somewhere else. Now, if you do want to transfer to like a local wallet or something like that, keep in mind the fees are going to be hefty. But if you're willing to keep all of your investment in this app, which is what I'm doing, then there's very few fees compared to the other apps, and for me was definitely the cheapest, the easiest one to use if you're trying to do quick trades, like you're trying to buy something, then sell it, and then reinvest, something like that nature. I do a little bit of both here and there, mostly probably siding onto longer term investments, but yeah, definitely I think this is the easiest app to use. It's the one with the fewest fees and the fewest caveats for me. Plus it works very well. Like, it's very quick. I never have really any issues with the speed, and you can just click on this ticker to go back and forth between your portfolio, where you can see exactly how much you have invested into all of your cryptocurrencies. You can see all of them at once. You can see very easily here your profit versus your loss and all of your different cryptocurrencies here, which is really nice. You can see the percent change for each of these cryptocurrencies and everything of that nature. You can see the breakdown of what you have the most of and all that kind of stuff. So it's really cool. In terms of the interface here, it makes it really easy to see what you got going on in here. But yeah, so that's kind of my breakdown. Also, the general mapping here of all your currencies at any time, you can go in and look at, day, week, month, year, kind of ranges here, and you can see it's going to adjust all the different variables in here that you're looking at. But it's just a really great app to see, like, just big, useful pieces of information. Now with all of these apps, you guys, you're going to get some kind of bonus using my links in the description. So please definitely check out those links if you're interested in any of these apps. It's a $25 referral bonus for Voyager. You get $25 of Bitcoin when you use my code when you sign up. So definitely use that. This is my preferred one, but if you're interested in using any of the other platforms, my next one I would probably recommend for trading would be eToro. Now that one you get a $50 bonus for, and there's also a webinar coming up pretty soon that you can attend, and you can get $100 of Bitcoin for free there. So I would actually recommend going in and just doing some, maybe if you're going to do investing in general, if you're going to put some money into investing, I would recommend doing eToro as well. If for nothing else, for the referral bonus and for the $100 that you can get from the webinar that's coming up in October of 2020. So I have the link in the description to both my referral bonus that you can get with eToro, as well as that video webinar that's going to be available in October. So other things, Coinbase, I would probably recommend creating an account with them as well, because if you're not using it for trading, I would definitely recommend getting the free cryptocurrency that you get from those videos. So even if you're not purchasing cryptocurrency, it's 100% free to create the account and get those free cryptocurrency values, whatever's available, like EOS and some of those other ones, Zcash and stuff like that, which all you have to do is watch a video, answer a super simple question, and you get anywhere from 2 to 3 or so dollars worth of cryptocurrency for that particular video, and there's usually like 3 or 4, so it could be 12, 20 something dollars worth initially, and then plus that's going to accrue over time. So it's just easy way to get some free cryptocurrency, and if you have multiple, then you're going to get some good value there. And then the final one, crypto.com, I will have the referral link in there. Just keep in mind that particular referral link, you're going to get the $50 most likely in the form of their own currency. So you're not getting 50 USD, you're getting $50 equivalent in what seems to be right now the CRO cryptocurrency. And it may not be able to be used on like investing immediately. You're probably going to have to either get that card, that debit card, and just use that $50 bonus, like maybe use it to buy $50 worth of gas or something like that, or whatever it might be that you would use that card for. But it's going to probably require that you do that. Don't think you can invest it, but if you guys are interested in using that app, the referral bonus is in the description, and you can certainly check that out as well. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Those are my 4 best apps that I found to buy and sell cryptocurrency for beginners. Guys, I know there's a lot of other apps out there that do this, plenty of really good ones out there, but this is just what I found to be the easiest, lowest fees, and my favorite option so far. So definitely like the video if you liked it, leave a comment below, and definitely subscribe for more useful videos that I'll be putting out in the future. That's it for this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.